So we're just saying to Luke, 6 of your last 8 games have been away from home.
You didn't have to bring that number 6 up again.
Sorry.
Why don't you go into next week's game and go 7 out of 10?
7 out of 10
7 out of
will
10
have
away
been
from home.
away after this week. So, looking forward to just getting back at home and the impact that must have on the team.
Well, the home form's been good. I mean, it's only the recent form away that's dipped a little bit, really. Obviously last week compounds it really, but I don't think the fixtures have been kind to us. How they've fallen, and like I say, after the weekend, we'd have had 7 out of 10 games away in this league, and wherever you go, they're difficult games. So to have so many, on the road isn't sort of fair and doesn't break it up a little bit. I still think the 2 away, 2 home is a nonsense. Someone will come up with some theory behind that. Well, that's worked out great for us in this little period, hasn't it? So it doesn't help. We prepare as much as we can. We train at the right times down to the last hour, what we're going to eat, when we're going to eat it, and all of that business. But it doesn't help you if you're going to Charlton and you leave at 12 o'clock and you don't get there till 7. So, doesn't matter about all the preparation you do. How can you legislate for 7 hours and stuck on motorways? You can't legislate for it. So it's just something we have to take. You have to take it on the chin. But it is an important part of the prep. Not for players. They're told what time to turn up and what time they got to eat and what time they got to train. But there is a fair bit of planning that goes into all of it. So I suppose all we have to plan for this week is to turn up. Not only at 3 o'clock, but to turn up on time, what time they've got to be there, and go out and play at home. So, that is something in the remaining 8 games where we've got 5 of them at home at least.
It must take a lot out of you as well, like you say, the players sat on a bus for 7 hours and stuff like that just isn't ideal and adds to everything. Well,
it's not really when you're thinking that probably the journey is 3.5, 3 3/4. So that doesn't help. But at the end of the day, that won't explain some of the decisions that we made last week, whether we had 3 hours on the bus or 6 hours on the bus, 7 hours on the bus, whatever it was. So, look, last week, it's still really difficult, even when you look back at the game, trying to explain it. We were the better side in the first half. We were definitely the better side for the first 25 minutes. Emotion takes over. We give away a couple of stupid free kicks. And then all of a sudden, bang, bang, we're 2-0 down. And then the third goal before half-time is a tough one to take. So at half-time then, there's a mountain to climb, really. We needed the first goal back in that period. It doesn't help when they get the next one. We go down to 10 men. That doesn't help at all. So these things can happen. We've probably seen arguably the biggest club in the world get beat 7-0 the other week by one of their biggest rivals. I'm not sure you can explain it. Sometimes you get punished for everything. And we got punished for everything last week because it was never a 6-0 scoreline. And we've got to make sure now that we just spin that one back on its head and get on with this game against Peterborough at the weekend and do our best to get 3 points a weekend.
And you've been well backed in these away games, but a good crowd hopefully tomorrow and a good backing from the home fans.
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned something in my programme notes this week that I think my staff and I think the players have given everything this year for such a small group, and that's my staff included as well. For what we have. And the squad we have and the amount of games they've played, and we can talk all day long about the players we haven't got, but those players we have got have kept going and kept going and kept going, and the staff have done exactly the same, and they've given everything this year. And yourself, your radio station, our local paper in Ollie, have all written good things this season, and probably rightly so, because I think they have deserved the credit for what they've done this season. What we don't want it to do is we don't want it to tail off. And sometimes, a lot is said about, we need the backing of the crowd, and then what happens is you need to do what you need to do to get the backing of the crowd. It sort of works a little bit both ways, I think. And I think after last week, as I've just said, and including Monday's game, we've had 7 out of 10 away games. And whilst we've had good followings where we've gone, we've had it tough in a lot of the decisions that have gone against us in games. Some of them refereeing ones that we had early in the season have spun on us again. And, it's our turn at home now for our stadium to be vocal, to be noisy. And I want the lads to feel the energy and the enthusiasm coming from the stands as well. Because I think that's important, and I think they need that bit of help.
Yeah, like you say, you're going to away games with crowds of over 20,000. That's got to have an impact, like you say, on refs, on players, on the fans, on everything.
100% it does, yeah. 100%. Everything that you've mentioned there without me repeating it, yeah, it does.
And like we were saying, lost my train of thought now.
You've got time.
Going off last week, just how's obviously Matt Pennington, how's he feeling?
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, he's going to be okay, Matthew. So he didn't train the early part of the week. But he's okay. Yeah, he's trained the last 2 days and he'll be okay, thankfully.
I know you mentioned Rakeel Pike at the end of, obviously, last week. Just any more information on that and kind of what it is?
Not really. Achilles tendons are, notoriously slow healers. Just because of the blood supply in a tendon, it's poor. It's the same as anyone who ever has suffered with tennis elbow, You think tennis elbow, that's all right. If you ever have tennis elbow, it's one of the most painful things ever. So, and Achilles tendonitis, it is really, really tough to get that one to heal really quickly. And I suppose if I'm being brutally honest, yeah, Ricky's not available again this week.
You mentioned earlier, I remember what I was going to say now about tailing off. When you're playing teams, up in the playoff places, and you're not far off there yourself. They're not going to be games that are going to peter out, are they? These ones.
Well, no, that's something. That's the last thing that I want to happen, and I think it's the last thing the players want to happen, which is why I say we might need a little bit of fan help here. So, no, we don't want anything to tail off, and. Whilst we still look at where we are in the league, say we win tomorrow, it's down to 6 points, and we get a game in hand. If we win a game in hand, it's down to 3 points. So whilst you can't really look any further than the game that's in front of you, you also have to see what carrot you've got further on down the line. Because sometimes players might not look at that. They might not look further on down the line. And whilst you don't want to take them too far down the line, you have to show them, well, this is what you could have won if you'd have done this. This is where you could have finished. So we don't want to be saying, oh, look, this is where we could have finished if we'd have done this, that and the other. We've just got to try and do it in the next game and then hope them things take care of themselves. The season's far from over. It's far from over. And to be honest, it won't be over until that final whistle's blown at Lincoln for me anyway. I won't change anything I do from day one of coming to the football club, really, not even day one at the beginning of this season. But I want a good group of lads to enjoy what has to date been a really, really enjoyable season if you just park the last few days. Because I wouldn't, if I'm brutally honest, training hasn't been really enjoyable this week. It's been hard work. And you can't, and it's not been the jolly place that it normally is, and that's understandably so. And I get that, So what we've got to do is knuckle down, fight hard, play well when we get the time and space to play well, and work to get a clean sheet on the back of last week, because we always know if we keep a clean sheet, we've got a great chance of winning the game.
Well, like we've said, back at home against Peterborough, it's not been long since you last played them, so
No.
Just your thoughts going into that one?
Well, I suppose my thoughts are, don't get done on set plays, because we got done on a set play down there, which was really, really disappointing. 2 set plays. So the first one in the first place is don't give away silly free kicks. And the second one is get your head on it before their lad does, which is what we've done predominantly most of the season. So that was disappointing to lose down there on a couple of set plays. But they've picked up. I think Darren's gone in there, done another good job after the other good jobs that he'd done previous. I know him. I know him well. I know that they'll come here, they'll be prepared. I know that Ollie and Nathaniel will want to do well, coming back to their old club. So it'll be good to see them. But this week really is about us. You know, we know they're a good team, full of respect, but this week is about us. It's not about who we're playing.
Perfect, thank you.